Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Melody Llama, and today we're going to be talking about side characters, or kind of these rival characters, these secondary rival characters, right? Our examples today are going to be Piccolo from Dragon Ball and Renji from Bleach, and why I kind of really like one of them and don't really like the other one. So, Piccolo is going to be the pro, Renji's going to be the con. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing I want to point out is I don't think Renji's an awful character. I don't think he's necessarily bad. I just don't feel like he worked for me in particular. The first thing we need to address is what kind of characters are these two, right? Because they're not exactly the rival character, right? That goes to Vegeta and Uryu, in my opinion. But their roles are kind of that secondary, fiddle. They're a secondary threat in the story. They both start as a threat and then end up helping Ichigo face any villain. They're also mainstays in the series and fan favorites as well. Now, I want to say that as an antagonist, I think both worked, right? Like, Piccolo was awesome in that tournament. He wasn't there for long, but he was just amazing for the small amount of time he was an antagonist. And Renji, for what it's worth, as Byakuya's lackey with quite a bit of depth, was pretty cool. We got to see quite a bit of Renji, including his backstory and everything. So everything seemed like it was moving in the right direction. And I want to say that things fall apart for Renji in particular when he's defeated by Ichigo. Something just doesn't add up, or something doesn't feel right after that loss, right? He goes to get Bankai and it doesn't really amount to anything. We're going to talk about the relationships with Rukia and Gohan. With Gohan, Piccolo pretty much, takes care of the kid for a little bit. He trains him, he gets kind of close to him, and Piccolo obviously ends up having the iconic sacrifice moment against Nappa. It all works great for Piccolo's character, right? Like, Piccolo's not dependent on Ichigo. Yeah, he wouldn't be because he's not in the same story as him. He's not dependent on Goku for his growth, he's dependent on Gohan. The story works for him, and I think that it has a general positive outcome for Gohan moving forward. He basically helps everyone up, right? Piccolo stands out as a character among the cast, just visually, just personality-wise, ability-wise. Gohan becomes a lot better of a character. The depth, the motivation to go to Namek to revive Piccolo, his growth in the Saiyan saga. The Android saga as well, right? Getting Super Saiyan 2. And after that, we see even like way later in Superhero, his relationship with Piccolo is still very good. We move to Renji, where I feel like Renji doesn't fit the main cast as well, right? Because the main cast to me, like the main buddies, are Ichigo, Orihime, Chad, Uryu, and Rukia, right? And then you add Renji to the group. Renji, for one, he has kind of this banter with Ichigo, but it's no different or less entertaining than it is with Uryu, right? Like, Uryu already fulfills that role with Ichigo, so Renji just kind of is a double of that. Renji then has pretty much no relationship with Uryu, right? They fight they fight Xayalaburo together, and it's a great fight, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't say that they have any kind of relationship, right? Like, Renji, you'd think he's like an honorable Soul Reaper, and Uryu's an honorable Quincy, so you think they'd have some kind of relationship, but they don't really, right? Orihime, I don't even remember if Renji says a word to her. And then you have Chad, where he's kind of Chad's mentor, kind of, in the Arrancar arc, but they don't really share a dialogue after Renji trains him for a little bit. It just feels to me like Renji loses any purpose after the Soul Society arc. In the Arrancar arc, he's there to just help, but, that doesn't really mean anything, right? Byakuya, Miyuri, and Kenpachi are also there to just help. Renji doesn't have any other, in-depth story to tell in the Arrancar arc. In fact, you could just remove him from the arc altogether, have Uryu fight Xayalaburo 1v1, and nothing really changes at all. And that doesn't get better with the full Ring arc. He's not even in it, really. And then you look at the 1,000 Year Blood War, and I like Renji's new Bankai, don't get me wrong, but it does feel a little pointless, right? Like, Renji doesn't have a story to tell. He doesn't go through an arc there. It feels like Renji has just kind of been done since the Soul Society arc, and not really even in a satisfying way, because he wanted to save Rukia and he's unable to, right? Ichigo does it for him. And it's not like that does anything to Renji's character, right? Like, it's not like Ichigo doing it for him makes Renji go like absolutely crazy in the next arc, the Arrancar arc. No, he's just kind of like, whatever. You know, Rukia saved, so I'm good. Compare this to Piccolo, right? Where Piccolo, he gives up his life to save Gohan, right? He goes 100% in saving Gohan. He's revived, and what does he do? He continues to protect Gohan, what he was doing. And then in the Android Saga, his goal is to make sure that Goku and Gohan get as strong as possible, right? Piccolo's continuing his goal to do that. When Piccolo gets the orange form, there is a reason for that. There is a narrative reason for Piccolo to obtain that form. Dragon Ball Superhero pretty much lets us know that without Goku and Vegeta, the Earth would get slapped up, and Piccolo acknowledges this immediately when he loses to Gamma 2 in the start of the movie. So Piccolo decides that he's going to try everything in his power to get stronger, and not only that, go back to the person that he has trained, that he knows has had all this potential in Gohan, and try his hardest to bring it out of him, bring that potential back out of him, and it pays off. I'd also think that Piccolo's personality is just cooler, right? Like, Piccolo just has aura, right? I mean, there's the meme that he just aura farms all the time, but he really does, and he pulls it off real well. Whereas Renji's personality is not all that interesting. Like, to me, I'm gonna be honest, he's always felt like the lesser version of Ikkaku, right? Like, Ikkaku, he is just awesome, right? He just exudes just this savage aura to him. Like, he's just cool as hell. We get his backstory, and it doesn't help that Renji's backstory and his motivation is pretty much a carbon copy of Ikkaku's, right? Like, Ikkaku is a warrior type individual who wants to defeat his captain, and then Renji's goal, he's a warrior type individual that wants to defeat his captain. He pretty much just robs Ikkaku's backstory, and it's not like he ever accomplishes this goal, right? That's one of my other problems. Like, you can argue Piccolo has no goal after, you know, the Saiyan saga, that his goal is just to protect the Earth, but yeah, at least he's doing it, right? Like, Renji's goal of surpassing and defeating Byakuya is mute, because it's not like Byakuya is evil, or there's any scenario where Renji's going to end up fighting Byakuya. The thing that makes Ikkaku's better as well is that, hey, you know, if Ikkaku and Kenpachi sparred, at least I could say that, you know, let's say Ikkaku won, Kenpachi would be like, oh shit, you're fucking him. I didn't know you were like that. You know, Ikkaku would get the satisfaction of completing his goal. I feel like if Renji defeated Byakuya, he'd just be like, cool, see ya. Like, Byakuya wouldn't give a shit. There's also kind of the, like, removal of Rukia's role in the story after Renji appears, right? Like, Rukia really felt like she was supposed to be the secondary main character. She was supposed to be, like, the love interest. Maybe you could say it was always supposed to be Orihime, but that's kind of not how I saw it, especially in the Soul Society arc. But, you know, when Renji appeared, it just felt like Rukia was no longer part of, like, the core group, right? She was now this, like, duo with Renji, and because Renji has nothing to do, it felt like Rukia was kept back by Renji. All I'm saying is Piccolo ain't never bring anybody back, right? In fact, Piccolo allowed other people to shine a lot more. In fact, Piccolo's run in the Android Saga, you know, straight heat, right? Like, Renji ain't never touching that. It also doesn't help that Renji's an L magnet. Like, yes, Piccolo is an L magnet as well, right? Like, who are we fooling? He lost to Frieza and Namek. He lost to Cell on, you know, the Android Saga. He got turned into chocolate, but then again, everybody did. Well, actually, I don't even remember. No, he got blown up by Kid Buu. So it's not like Piccolo's like this, you know, he's collecting W's again and again. But, you know, at least he lost with style, right? And he losing to real ones. Renji, I don't know. He just didn't have that sauce. Let me know if I'm crazy here, if there's like some narrative that I'm missing about Renji, or some point to him being around after the Soul Society arc. Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and let me know what video you guys want to see next. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm out.